Ladies and gentlemen, the following podcast is set for one episode. Your host from Columbus, Ohio, is Michael Kirk. Welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast. Hello and welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast, your digital audio dirt sheet for all things Super Show. Top story this week: online tournaments, events are booming currently for Super Show the game. Let me start with the Cookies Fortune event. The Cookies Fortune tournament draft wrapped up a few days ago. Went pretty smoothly. No one made a mistake in the picks. It was all conducted on Facebook. The groups have been settled. Group A has 32 players. 27 of those players will be using competitors from the World Division that they drafted from the World. The remaining 5 in that group will be using Underworld Division competitors. 5 of the World Division competitors went undrafted. Group B will be nothing but Underworld competitors. Each group is divided up into 4 subgroups of 8 players. Each player in that subgroup will play the other 7. The top 4 records from each subgroup will move on to the next round. Players have until December 29th to get their deck lists submitted for the Cookies Fortune tournament. They must use the deck they submit for the entire tournament. It cannot change at any point during the tournament. I've been waiting a little bit to report on this because there was initially a mistake. It actually involved me. My competitor, I drafted a World Division competitor, was put in the all Underworld Division group. I was in Group B. I was supposed to be in Group A. General Manager Calais corrected that, and so now the groups currently listed on Challenge are correct for this event. Next, let me talk about the online league. The online league has started back up for the holiday season. Sign-ups are closed. Unfortunately, the sign-up period was announced after last week's show and closed before this week's show, so I couldn't talk about it. Players who signed up will have until January 10th to play about 5 or 6 matches. That's how many estimated matches from the post I saw are going to be for the league. That's what I have currently for you about the online league. I did report last week about the holiday Contender tournament being hosted by Hold the Line Harry for the Tornado Tag Team Division. The sign-up period started December 9th. 32 players, first come, first serve. It filled up pretty quickly. Each player submitted a list of the top 3 Tornado Tag teams they would like to play from a pool that did not include the current champion, the next challenger, and all of the Tornado Tag teams that were drafted for Faction Wars 6. 29 of the people who picked were able to get their first choice. So there was a lot of variety as to who people wanted in this tournament. It's a double elimination tournament. It is currently going on as I report this. Players are free to play the matches in their bracket as soon as they're able. So if they play their round 1 match, their round 2 opponent is ready, they can go right into round 2. No need to wait for a specific end period to pass. Players can go whenever they want to go. Last I heard, at least 2 players are currently able to play their second round matchup. I'll give you more on the Holiday Contender Tournament for the LFF Tornado Tag Team Championship as I get it. Right now, that's what I have for you. I have a Faction Wars 6 update. We have reached Phase 2 of Faction Wars. The following 8 teams have made Phase 2. The Big Picture, the Flock of Florida Friends, Crime Wave, The Line, the Constellation, the Higher Class, the Refinery, and Vibe Check. The details for the matches in Phase 2, last I heard, are still being worked out. I will give you an update when I have it. Congratulations to those 8 factions for making Phase 2, making the top 8 in Faction Wars 6. I have a Rising Stars tournament update. We have reached the top 4 in Rising Stars. The top 4 in matchup order are Brian Sutton as Bjorn the Norseman versus Chris Tapley as Slime Girl. That's the first matchup in the semifinals. The second matchup, HR as Split versus Mike Benton as Papa Wheelie. Both of these matches in the semifinal round will be ladder matches. Congratulations to Brian Sutton, Chris Tapley, HR, and Mike Benton for making the semifinals. That's always hard to get to the semifinal round in a big tournament. Congratulations to them. They are able to change their decks for this round, so they can build for the semifinals. Not sure if they have to use the same deck in the finals match, but they can build new decks for the semifinal match at least. I have an update for the 2024 Create a Competitor competition. We've reached the final 6. Those 6 competitors are JAC, Rambo Apocalypse, The Misfit, Mr. Rumble, Masked Llama Black, and The Game Master. These 6 have been asked to come up with a catchphrase, 2 signature moves, and 3 finishing moves for their competitors. This is for the names only, not what the moves do, not what they look like, just names. From what I understand, there's been no deadline given for when they submit these or who they're supposed to submit them to. I assume they're supposed to go to either Steve Resk or Pat Mulligan, probably both, as soon as possible. We'll have to see. Right now, though, that is the update for the 2024 Create a Competitor competition. I have some other bits of news as well. Let me give those to you in no particular order. The next contender for the LFF United States Championship held by Candyman is the SRG Boss. I've seen some nice promos from both of them promoting this match. Very happy to see that. The next challenger for the Deep 6 Championship, currently held by Piglet, is the prizefighter Simon Dabner. No date or time on that yet, but he will build a deck containing no more than 6 top cards and face off against Champion Piglet with the same deck building restriction. Simon Dabner, the current Ace Champion, will also have to defend his Ace Championship in a fatal 4-way match against 3 mystery opponents. Additionally, the Ace Championship, which is normally contested for using Ace Championship rules, will see those rules suspended for this fatal 4-way match. It will be a standard fatal 4-way match, no Ace Championship rules. The last thing that I have for you before I talk about the online tournaments and featured matches from this past week is an announcement about a future convention. Dice and Diversions will be happening in Atlanta, Georgia, January 17th through January 19th. SRG Universe will be there, but I believe it's going to be represented by the local players mostly. I don't think we're going to see anyone from the company there. More details on that as it gets closer. I'll give you those when I have it. But if you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area, potentially check out Dice and Diversions the weekend of January 17th through January 19th. Now let's talk about the online tournaments and featured matches. Monday, we had Monday Night Fights, an Underworld Division tournament. Any competitor, singles competitor in the Underworld Division and below is eligible to be used in the tournament subject to 2020 vision. 9 players signed up for the tournament. Group stages. 2 groups. 1 group of 5 players, 1 group of 4. Each player plays the others in their group. Top 2 records per group advance to the top cut. Your top 4 end up being in 4th place, playing as Beatstick Brandon, the prize fighter Simon Dabner. In 3rd place, playing as the master strategist Chris Pate. In 2nd place, playing as the new vacation commissioner Bob Dunn, and the winner of Monday Night Fights, playing as Witch Hunter General Zach Ashley. Congratulations to Zach Ashley for winning Monday Night Fights. Tuesday, the LFF Trios Championship was on the line as challenger Ron Rumble, playing as the family, took on champion Colby Cram, playing as the Sheepish Inquisition. This was a very quick match, just a few turns, doesn't go past crowd meter 0. The winner rolling a 30 for the finish roll at crowd meter 0. His opponent unable to break out. New champion Ron Rumble. Congratulations to Ron Rumble for becoming the LFF Trios champion. Wednesday night, there was an episode of Ignite on the Big Picture Premium Twitch channel. 2 matches, both featuring the same players and competitors. The first match, Rambo Apocalypse as Romeo 3000 versus TVA Commissioner Drew Madsen as the original version of Donation. This was a very quick match, crowd meter 0, Rambo Apocalypse wins, and so they decide to run it back. Rematch. The rematch goes to crowd meter 2. The winner of the rematch, TVA Commissioner Drew Madsen. Congratulations to both men for getting a victory on this exhibition match edition of Wednesday Night Ignite. Thursday, Chibi's Seasons Beatings. This was a 7-player grand battle match open division. Let me give you the 7 men in the match, the competitors they used, in the order of entry. The first man in, the Italian Bombada, playing as Crash Jackson. The second man in, Jokerfish, playing as Joe Black, one of the Southern States pro wrestling competitors, I believe. The third man to join the match, Mr. Moneymaker, playing as Bronzeberg. The fourth man in the match, Brimelight, playing as El Scorpio. The fifth man in, Bob Dunn, playing as Vacation Commissioner. The sixth man in, the prize fighter Simon Dabner, playing as the original version of Brian Cage. Brian Cage is the effing machine. And the final man in the match, Chris Pate, playing as Ricky Riot. The first man eliminated, getting tossed out by the Italian Bombada, was Jokerfish. The second man also tossed out by Bombada, Chris Pate. The third man eliminated by Robert the Brain Dunn, Mr. Moneymaker. The fourth man eliminated was Robert the Brain Dunn himself. He was eliminated by the prize fighter, Simon Dabner. The prize fighter, Simon Dabner, would then throw out the Italian Bombada, and so it would come down to Brimelight versus the prize fighter, and the prize fighter once again throws out his third man in a row and takes the match with the original version of Brian Cage. Congratulations to the prize fighter, Simon Dabner, for winning Chibi's Thursday Night Fights Seasons Beatings Edition. Friday, there's a pretty full match card on Candy Shop Talk, also on the Big Picture Premium Twitch channel. It starts off with a match from the, I believe it's a 6-stop regional tag team tournament. We have the tag team of Candyman playing as Adriana D, Queen of Cheer, and Stephen Moonstar playing as Agatha Mai. Take on the tag team known as the Fine Print, Rambo Apocalypse playing as Amazing Red, and Commissioner Drew Madsen playing as Titan, the new version of Titan. with a Y. This match ends up going to Crowd Meter 2. The winners at Crowd Meter 2, the team of Candyman and Steven Moonstar. However, it's discovered after their victory that they were both using T50'd entrance cards, which was an illegal build. So, they will not be moving on. I do not know if the fine print will take their place or if both teams have been eliminated. But it ends up being a wash, so to speak, in the opening match at Candy Shop Talk. The next few matches are for the finals of the 6-stop team event. The two teams that made the finals are RRCW Booking Team and Candy Shop Talk. Each team in the 6-stop team event has 3 members. Those 3 members play singles matches, best of 3 series. The first best of 3 series had happened before this was streamed, so we just saw the last 2. In the opening set, we have the Flame Fighter playing as the Zero-Win champion, take on Rambo Apocalypse playing as Loudmouth Leo Larynx. The first match of the series goes to the Flame Fighter. The second match of the series goes to Rambo Apocalypse. So, there needs to be a third match. The winner of that third match, Rambo Apocalypse. The final series, Brian Ogozelic as the new version of Jokerfish versus Candyman as Fast Hands Can. Based on the scoring going into this match, Brian Ogozelic would have to win outright 2-0 to secure the victory for his team. If he lost a match and then won the next 2, it would be a tie. If Candyman, I believe, went 2-0, I think they would have won. The first fall goes to Candyman. So the best result for Brian Ogozelic is to secure a tie for his team. The second fall goes to Brian Ogozelic. So he must win the third fall to keep his team alive. And he does. The finals of the 6-stop team event will have to go to a tiebreaker of some sort. I have not seen anything from the judge, Tim Riley, who's running this event, about what that tiebreaker will be, but there will be a tiebreaker to determine a winner of the 6-stop team event. Saturday, we had a scheduled defense of the Deep South Tag Team Championship. 2 things, though, before I get to that. First, I should have mentioned the results from the LFF Tri-State Scramble that happened at PAX Unplugged. Those results had not been published when I recorded last week's show. For people at PAX Unplugged who lived in the LFF Tri-State region, they could play matches as part of this scramble. They earned points for those matches. Most points at the end of the weekend would earn a shot at the current LFF Tri-State Championship held by Sundown Moon. The top 3 point getters in the scramble end up being in third place, the general manager of the LFF Tri-State Singles Championship, John Polverino. In second place, the SRG boss, and the winner by a significant point margin for his success in individual matches, in tournaments, getting a future shot at Sundown Moon for the LFF Tri-State Championship, the prize fighter, Simon Dabner. Congratulations to the prize fighter for winning the LFF Tri-State Scramble. Second, Saturday night, there's a delay for the Deep South Tag Team Championship match. So, on the stream, which was on the Big Picture Premium Twitch channel, TVA Commissioner Drew Madsen and Hold the Line Harry played one of their online league matches. I normally don't report on these individually, but because it was streamed, I'll mention that Drew Madsen, using his new competitor, Vacation Commissioner, took on Hold the Line Harry using King Pink in a standard singles match that went to Crowd Meter 2, with Hold the Line Harry taking the win. After this match, we do get the Deep South Tag Team Championship match. The challengers, Fault Line, the tag team of Hold the Line Harry playing as Shui, and Ron Rumble playing as Zonda. The champions, KSW Worldwide, the Enforcer playing as Titan, the original Titan with an I, and King Pink playing as himself. This match ends up going to Crown Meter 1. The winner, new Deep South Tag Team Champions, Fault Line. Congratulations to Fault Line for becoming the champions. Sunday, we have Sunday night fights. 3, so to speak, on the match card. I say so to speak because the first match is a tiebreaker in faction fights. I usually don't cover faction fights. This is something that happens on the dojo, where each week 2 factions pick a representative, one person to represent the faction to defend the house. The person that gets the most wins defending the house wins faction fights. It's a bracket style, so you have a round, the winners then are paired up, another round, so on and so forth, until you have one winner in faction fights. Again, I usually don't cover faction fights, but they had the tiebreaker match on Sunday Night Fights, so I'll talk about it. Going from memory, we had the Nightmare King representing Kongaholics and Foreman representing the Unionverse. The tiebreaker match would be a 2-minute challenge match. In the 2-minute challenge match, the Nightmare King was playing as the Masked Beetle. The Foreman was playing as HR. In order for there to be a win, somebody had to secure a pinfall or submission win within a 2-minute timer. The timer started when the first card, I believe, was hit. If a finish was not hit during the turn where time had expired, the match is restarted. Both players shuffled their hands, cards in play, discard piles, back into their decks, and started over. This was actually a shock to me because going from memory, I have not watched a lot of 2-minute challenge matches, but my understanding is those formats end in a tie the majority of the time. So why you would use that format to break a tie makes no sense to me. There ended up being 11 games. They played 11 2-minute games to break the tie. When they reached the 9th game, the decision was made to bump the crowd meter to 1. When they reached the 10th game, they bumped it to crowd meter 2. In the 11th game, hitting a finish as time was expiring, rolling an 11, winning the tiebreaker for his faction, the Kongaholics, the Nightmare King. Congratulations to the Nightmare King for winning the opening 2-minute challenge match series effectively on Sunday Night Fights. The second match of the night was a championship match. The Midwest Coast Tag Team Championship on the line. The challengers, the team Burnt Ends. Sherry Von Danish playing as herself, the End playing as himself. The champions, the New Hotness. Brock Smith playing as Scott Prime, and Mitchell Manja playing as Chloe Mai. This tag team match ends up going to crowd meter 5. The winners at crowd meter 5, still champions, the New Hotness. Congratulations to the New Hotness for a successful defense. The final match was a grudge match that's been a couple weeks in the making. A lot of promos back and forth. Young Allergy versus Rambo Apocalypse. Young Allergy playing as the new version of Matthias, son of Zeus. Rambo Apocalypse playing as the new version of the GOAT Brock Smith. Standard singles match. It goes to crowd meter 2. The winner at crowd meter 2 Rambo Apocalypse. Congratulations to Rambo Apocalypse for winning the grudge match. Will this quash the feud? We'll have to see. But right now, Rambo Apocalypse up 1-0 in the feud. As far as matches coming up for next week, events coming up for next week, nothing is currently listed on supershowthegame.com. I would expect to see something Monday. I would expect to see something Thursday. I would expect to see Dojo Tuesday night, twitch.tv/SRGuniverse. Watch the SRG Super Show discussion group on Facebook. Watch supershowthegame.com for information about those events to be posted. With that being said, that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Outlaw Mudcast. I would like to thank all of you for listening, and good day.